Well, I can't hear it, but I know it's playing. At least it's supposed to. That's the arrangement. The agreement I have with the theme music is that when I push the go button, it plays. But right now I'm not wearing headphones, so I don't really know, and I'll tell you why I'm not wearing headphones in just a moment. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what, let me just turn down the music. We'll shut it off early. There we go. See how smooth that was? And now I'm getting it ready for the end. Yes, the end. There will be an end. Look, I can't just do perpetual never-ending shows, as much as I'd love to. But there are laws of nature, my friends, laws of nature. Now look, I would be broadcasting this live as I always do, even though it's basically for naught, because no one is yet tuned in to the fact that this show is a thing. But we're working on it. But here's what's happening right now. As the title suggests, I'm on a cruise. And I'm actually looking out of... I'm in my stateroom. I'm here with Lynn, of course. We're speaking on... at an event called the Entrepreneur Cruise. And I'm actually talking about live streaming. You know, the thing I'm doing, well, the thing I do, but not this time because I have right now I have 2 bars on my phone. We are heading out, we are on the Mississippi River right now. We left New Orleans a few hours ago at the beginning of a 7-day Western Caribbean cruise, and so our first stop, Cozumel. But that'll be on Tuesday, and we're at sea all day tomorrow, and that will be our first sort of teaching day. And so I'll be talking about live streaming then, and then at the end of the week is our last day, and I'll be talking about mobile apps. That's right, mobile apps. I'm not going to talk about either of those things with you right now. I really wanted to go live, but, you know, again, I didn't want to be in the middle of it, and then suddenly, and now I've got 3 bars. So it's like, it's getting better all the time. But so I'm looking out of the window in our stateroom, which we're very fortunate to have a window. And I'm just, and I can see, since we're still along the Mississippi, I'm looking, you know, obviously at water. It's dark, but I can see the lights of the shoreline. I don't know how far out that is. I really don't. It's, you know, I can't tell. It's dark. There's lights. It could be a mile. It could be a half a mile. I don't know. Or more. I'm not sure how far they are. Lynn is currently preparing for her presentation tomorrow. I'm not so much into this preparation thing. Oh, it's just too nerve-wracking. Who wants to spend all that time preparing for something when you could just go do it? That's my philosophy. I mean, look, you get nervous when you're preparing. It's like nervous. Why? No, so I did do some preparation. But my talks are fairly simple, and it's about stuff I do all the time, and blah, blah, blah. Lynn's stuff is way more complicated. She does a lot more stuff for her people than I do for mine. It's not out of lack of love. She just got a much more complicated service that she provides. I'm simple. I help you get started on Livestream, or I build an app for you. And she does all this. Anyway, point is, she is in work mode right now. And now as I record this, which of course I'm having to record, and I will upload it while I'm on the cruise, I think, maybe. In fact, I'll try it right after if I've got bars. I'll try and move it right on up. But I, on the other hand, am like, I'm not working. I'm going to bed. You know, and I've been staring out this window all afternoon going, I cannot wait to get back into this room and just stare out this window. I'll tell you why. Now, I live in Marina Del Rey, California, which is the ocean's right there. But we don't always get out there, you know. And we do our fair amount of sailing if you follow the Bob Doyle Show, if you follow me on my timeline, which Facebook timeline I'm talking about. And if you're not, what? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, how are we going to build an empire if you don't, you know, listen to the show? Or be on my timeline, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm rambling. Because you know what? I'm kind of on vacation, and it feels good. You know, soon I won't have it. Now I'm down to one bar. So any minute now, I could just totally lose internet forever. Although there is internet on the boat, but you buy 100 minutes. I want to use them sparingly. Blah blah blah. But it was fun. Today we did, as when it was still light outside, and as we were walking around, I did a Periscope broadcast, 360-degree Periscope broadcast, which was fun. At the same time that Lynn did her Facebook broadcast, and as I started my broadcast, she started hers, which, very rude, right? And then she wandered off. So I said, well, I wandered off. So I gave everybody a tour of at least the level of the ship I was on. And then I started getting messages from people saying, where are you? Lynn's looking for you. So there were people watching Lynn's broadcast, and Lynn was clearly saying, I can't find Bob. But I guess she said, he's doing a Periscope. Anyway, I started getting these messages from people who were watching her Facebook saying, Lynn is looking for you, which I thought was hilarious. Because now we're obviously just kind of walking around on opposite sides of the boat. And she's doing a show and I'm doing a show, and I'm thinking, this is perfect. We've got to I hope she keeps recording so that we both have two simultaneous shows that then we can edit together. And then, so go back and forth, where's Bob? And I'm talking, and then, so you get it. You guys are creative people. You're smart. You know what I'm talking about. But apparently she ended the broadcast before I finished mine. But we'll still do it, I think. We'll still edit it together. It was just too funny. And then we ended up actually meeting back up at the exact same spot that we started. Was that perfect? This cruise so far has just been one perfect thing after another. I have to say, wow, I could get really deep into some of the mindset shifts that I've experienced over the past few weeks, but this is neither the time nor the place. But I can tell you that things are, as a result of this mindset shift, the past 2 weeks have been ridiculously very cool, and things are just working, and this cruise is one of those things. I'll give you a great example. So, as you all know, and think about every 5 minutes of your life, just over a year ago, I eliminated alcohol. Bob, will you stop talking about that? Jeez. Well, there's a point to the story, guys. I'm not just, But one of the things that I have just replaced alcohol with is ginger beer, and I love it. Something has clicked in me that says this is my new wine. I've talked about this on this very podcast. Oh, low battery, gotta go into low power mode. There's one electrical outlet in this room. One. Anyway, ginger beer. And so, but I'm thinking, the cruise, they're not going to have ginger beer, right? So I go up to you have to buy like a soda pass. Anyway, cruises. What sodas do you have? Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, ginger ale. Oh, so close. And then Sprite, Diet Sprite, whatever. And I said, that's fine, I'll take ginger ale. And we're sitting there, and I'm drinking ginger ale. And one of the other bartenders comes up to the other guy who had served me the ginger ale, and said something about blah, 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 ginger ale. And I said, man, if you guys did have ginger beer, you would have just made my day. And they both looked at me and go, we have ginger beer. And I'm thinking, I hope they're not mistaking this for something that's alcoholic, or, I hope that this would be a terrible tease. I do not want to get my hopes up. And I'm like, you have ginger beer? And then the people next to me, it was just funny. You had to be there. There was like, the reaction in me was so visceral. I think people felt it in a 7-foot, 8-foot diameter when they said, we have ginger beer. And not only do they have ginger beer, the ginger beer they have is a brand called Gosling's, which if you have listened to the show, which you haven't, but if you had, you would know that was one that I just recently learned about when we were in Sacramento for Thanksgiving. And it's really, really good. It's not available in all the stores around in Marina Del Rey, but there is one store I get it to. But I don't get it that much because it's like an extra trip on the outing. I go to the grocery store and then I got to go to this other store just to get the ginger beer. So I don't do it that much. Because the grocery store has 2 other ginger beer brands that I like just fine, but it's not Gosling's. Anyway, so these guys have Gosling's. And that's just one of the many things. It's like, really, this just lines up so perfectly. All the transportation here has been flawless. everything's just been, it's just been, in terms of travel, and you need to know that I am historically, I don't know, I get stressed about travel. It's like I got to be on time. I started packing for this trip a week in advance, and that makes it less stressful for me. And I know I've got it all done. Everything is done ahead of time. And Lynn is very much the opposite, and I'm not making her wrong for it. It's just a very different style, where she will traditionally pack at the last minute. I actually had to make a request and said, I'm requesting that for my sake, we see if we can get you packed earlier rather than later, just so I won't be stressing and then driving her crazy. Because when I get upset about the time, then it just, come on, guys, you know what I'm talking about, how things escalate. But she actually did agree to pack in advance, and she was so glad, and she was very thankful, and da-da-da-da-da. So anyway, it's not to say that there haven't been a couple of little stressful moments here, but for the most part, in terms of what I was thinking and how smooth things are, and the fact that I've even got this moment right now with you, not that it wouldn't be nice if Lynn was here, but I wouldn't be doing this show, and I wouldn't have, and I'm going to make this short because I really want to have this quiet time that I've been looking forward to, and just looking out at the water. And as I look out of the water, just to paint the picture, I told you it's dark. I see lights on the shore, some undetermined distance. There are boats, big and small, that pass us. There's a boat passing me right now, a smaller boat that is going much faster than we are. Maybe you can hear it if you listen very closely. But apparently we're going to have some. The word is we're going to have like some rough weather, tonight and tomorrow, which I'm excited. I like it. The weather started getting rough. But this is not a tiny ship, nor will it be tossed. But I've been on cruises before where we've been through some weather in the boat. It takes a lot to rock these boats, guys. They're very big. Very big. Did I mention that they were big? And for the most part, you don't ever feel, you can do an entire cruise and just feel like you're in a building, But already tonight, we've had a couple of, nothing major, but, you're on a boat. And it could get more than that. They were telling me, like they said, hey, Bob Doyle, out of all the thousands of people here, we want to tell you this. No, they told everybody. They told everybody at the same time over extremely loud speakers that the waves that we may be encountering over the next couple of days or whatever could be 15 feet. And, that seems big to me. Maybe that's kind of normal. I don't know, but it seems big. I feel like we're going to feel them. So that's exciting, because I don't get seasick or anything like that. And that's why virtual reality is so cool, and that's really what the whole impetus of this, of why I'm enjoying this so much. I've been spending, so much time in virtual reality, and a lot of the virtual reality programs I have are their nature or whatever, and I have a couple of sailing ones. And one is one called VR Regatta, which actually does teach you a thing or two about how sailing works. And you're on a body of water, and it's all about learning how to, steer and work with the wind and all that stuff. The water itself, it looks good, but it's not like wavy and all that. It's still nice. But now this other one that I just got a couple of weeks ago is called VR Sailing, and it is not as realistic in terms of the actual learning to sail and what you're doing. You basically can steer, and there's not a lot of theory in it. Where the other one, you actually learn the terminology, and I love it because I go sailing, with Captain Dave, who we've talked about, and I'm clueless. I don't know what's going on, but now I'm understanding more about how it works. But the point is, the second one, the VR sailing program, you're out in this it's a bigger sailboat, whereas the VR Regatta, you're actually in like almost like those boats that you may see people taking lessons in, like kids taking lessons. They're small. And remember, this is virtual reality, so it feels like you're there. Let's just keep tuning into that. This VR sailing, you're out in the middle of the ocean, and you got 3 different scenarios. One is just daytime normal, one is nighttime, and one is storm. And even the daytime normal, there's a lot of waves going on. It's pretty. The water in that is so realistic. It's just, I stand there in amazement. I will actually just stand there in this virtual boat and just look. And then when you go at night, it's kind of like what I'm looking at right now. You know, the water's smoother, it's quiet, and, you know, but it still looks so real, the water. But man, the storm mode is out freaking rageous. The waves are so big, and they're all around you. And there's thunder and lightning and the whole thing. It's crazy. And that is one that when I get into that, after about 5 minutes, I am feeling the floor move. Like, I'm so immersed at that point that what I'm seeing, you know, and that little sort of head feeling you get, like, whoa, which happens in VR, that's fine, but you know it's like in your head. You know that you're just getting that sort of, your equilibrium's being messed with because your brain doesn't really know what's going on. But in this case, I not only did you go way past that, and it felt like the freak. Now, I know I live in California, but trust me, these weren't earthquakes I was feeling. My brain was just 100% convinced that I was out in a boat in the water, and I felt it in a whole different way. And I've done a lot of virtual reality, and I have amazing sensations of realism and being there, and all of the fun head stuff, and it's all great. But in terms of feeling like the building I was in was actually moving, that's the first time. And it took, like I said, I was in there about 5 minutes or so before it really clicked in. I go, oh my God, it feels like I'm moving. I'm swaying. Just amazing. And so, but now I'm really looking at real water, real boats, real night, real sky, real quiet, really nice. And, when I wake up, we won't see any land probably. Wow, I'm looking straight ahead at, I'm not sure what, but looks like, I guess I'm looking at the land. I think we're right up next to the land at this point. And there's like there's a cylinder with flames shooting out of it. That's all I can tell you. So it looks like some kind of a refinery, I guess. And there's just this flame going. But it's so dark I can't really tell what's going on. But eventually, so what I heard somebody saying was, so we took off out of New Orleans, and it's supposed to be on this river for 12 hours, the Mississippi River, for 12 hours before I guess we hit the ocean. That's just what I heard. I don't remember where it came from. A lot of hearsay. Yeah, lots of people on this boat. I could talk. I just am realizing I can hear the people through the walls, which means they probably have heard me too. So I guess I gotta talk a little quieter. I can't make out what they're saying, but I can definitely hear them, so I'm pretty sure my voice is going right through the wall too. BobDoyleShow.com. Did I say that out loud? Anyway. You know what? I just really wanted to share the moment with you. It would have been a lot more interesting in video, except that it's totally dark, which is great. So my plan now, you may ask, to end this broadcast, put on some music from the Calm app, which I've talked about on my various shows, because I'm not streaming it, although I could. I still got some 4G going, which is good, so I can actually turn on Pandora and stream some music instead of relying on what's on my phone, which is not enough. And then I'm just going to look at the water and meditate with my eyes open and just fully revel in the fact that I have no other responsibilities right now. At least not that I can do anything about. So just let it go, right? So just really feel on vacation, because, wow, even when Lynn and I went to Punta Cana a couple of times, and even almost just for straight up vacation, I don't know, there's just something about this one that really feels just super relaxed. I can't explain what it is, but I guess I just really, really needed it. And it is a working cruise, so, hopefully generating some money and everything like that too. So we have fun and business, and it's a smaller group, and I get to talk about my favorite stuff. Live streaming, getting these people enthusiastic about pressing go live, on whatever platform they want to, because some of these folks, they've just got amazing stuff they're up to, and they have not yet gone live, and I just want to get them to go live. And then if anybody wants to help, wants help with, getting set up with Wirecast and really up-leveling their broadcast, that's kind of like what I'm offering them, But what I'm showing them is that it's as easy as pressing go and getting them over their fears and, all that stuff. Sharing some strategies. But what I really want to do is work one-on-one with some of these people because some of their messages are really super inspiring. And I know that with the right, getting used to live streaming and then hooking up with the right people, it could really just totally blow their businesses open and give them the visibility they want. And it's really super exciting. Anyway, so that's what's happening now. So I'm gonna end the show. In fact, I'm gonna start. Let me see. I gotta remember how to put this on. I have no idea what's going on because I can't hear it. But it's supposed to be the jazzy version of the Bob Doyle Show's theme. So thanks for listening to this little recording. If in fact you did, I can't see how long it is. Oh wait, it looks like 21 minutes. Looks like I've been talking for 20 minutes. I can really talk a long time to no one. That's a skill I have, which I guess is good for if you're going to do a show, a podcast, which does not involve guests. You better be able to talk. Now, I'm not saying that it's interesting or entertaining or that anybody was listening, but boy, can I talk. So I'm going to end this and then I'm going to try and upload it. Why not? And then share it and see if we can get some, who knows? Who knows what would happen? Magical things are happening. Oh, the theme ran out. Now I'm going to start over. Magical things are happening these days, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just continue the magic together, shall we? Enjoy the rest of your whatever it is. And we will talk again soon.